About 2 months ago, the Datsuns released their fourth studio album, Head Stunts, and they're back in New Zealand. And right now I'm talking to Phil from the Datsuns. Kia ora.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very happy to be home.
I bet you are. Where have you been recently?
The last 6 weeks we've been in Europe, going around Scandinavia, the UK, and all around Germany and Holland and Belgium and Austria and Switzerland, all over the place pretty much. Just playing as much shows as we possibly can.
You did around about a 50-date tour or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I ended up being about 42 shows in 46 days. So and after the last show I came straight home from Frankfurt, so I got home on Friday and I was pretty tired.
Man, that's intense.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are known for being a really hard-working band, on stage, as well as, the fact that you do tour so much. How do you maintain the levels of energy that you do?
I don't know, really. It's something that we just do, we travel a lot, and, it's very mentally tiring, and so during the day you just think about the show. Oh, I hope it's going to be good, or I hope people come, and sometimes it goes well and sometimes it doesn't, but we always enjoy playing together, and it's been good to play with our new drummer, and this is our first record with him, so having him on the road with us has kind of rejuvenated our kind of spark for touring again, So.
I was going to ask about that because Matt, your old drummer, obviously left after Smoke and Mirrors.
Yeah.
With the new drummer, Ben, you've already alluded to the fact that it has perhaps altered the dynamic somewhat. Can you sort of expand upon that?
Well, it totally has changed the dynamic. He's if you change any member of the band, it would change. And he's a very mellow, level-headed guy, and hadn't really travelled much out of New Zealand before he joined the band. So he's kind of like this young greenhorn who's still excited about, not that we're not excited about travelling around the world, but he's kind of just given us a little bit more of a spark, and it was really kind of starting over again from a new platform, really. And that's why we called our album Datsuns Head Stunts, because it's just the Datsuns pretty much, but just mumbled up a little bit.
So the Datsuns Head Stunts, it's an anagram. Have you sort of ever done that with any other titles of songs or anything like that before?
Initially it was just, we were just making up anagrams because we were really bored about and trying to make up titles for demos for the songs that we were doing. So Head Stunts just was one of them that kind of got ignored for a long time, and then when we were trying to think of an album title, it was just that kind of makes sense, because it's it's an anagram, but it's also a compound word that makes sense, but I've never heard of it before. It's and it's such an emotional kind of roller coaster doing what we do and putting our lives into it, that there's a lot of ups and downs. So it made sense from our point of view.
Sometimes I guess it feels a bit like standing on your head.
Yeah, totally. Or just your head getting thrown all over the place, or emotionally you're not sure what the hell you're doing. So it made sense to us, and then we just went on with it.
So you said that you were in Germany. I know that much of the material for Head Stunts was created in Germany. Whereabouts did you record that?
We ended up recording in Gothenburg, Sweden. So we were living in Germany in a town called Gütersloh, and we initially went there to record and write as well, but it didn't really work out how we wanted to. So we ended up going to this place, Gothenburg in Sweden, and our friends from a band called The Soundtrack of Our Lives have a studio there, and we kind of had made friends with them over the years, and they were just yeah, come record here. So we, over 3 2-week periods, we went there and just recorded and mixed, and it was the exact environment that we kind of moved out of England to go to Germany for, but didn't find. So it was exactly what we wanted, and yeah, it was good for us to get out of England and go to Germany under the conception that we were going there to record the record, and that's where it was going to be made, because otherwise I don't think we would have moved, So we got there, and after a few months and realised it wasn't working out, we had actually come up with a lot of material, and we were and we had demoed the songs, so we knew how we wanted to record them, and that's always a process that everyone likes to argue about, how the songs are going to go and what they should sound like, etc. And Gothenburg was exactly what we wanted to. We pretty much recorded everything very quickly and just spent a lot of time working on the finer details. And it worked out pretty good. Like in the end, everybody was happy with it, although it was pretty emotionally draining.
I guess most albums or any sort of long recording project like that would be emotionally draining though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, we kind of put our lives into the whole thing, so there's a lot, not only at stake, but, so like we just put a lot of energy into it because that's what we've been given the chance to do, so it has its ups and downs, but everyone was happy with it in the end, and now it's just nice to be able to just go and play it, so we're just playing the songs and we're getting better at playing the songs, and when you play so many shows, the songs start to evolve on their own kind of thing as well, like the way we play anyway. It's like, we might do a song and make it longer or shorter, or it just does whatever it does, so it's been good.
I think, the album is quite dynamic. Headstunts has got a lot of different elements to it, which we may not have heard from the Datsuns before. There's a lot of psychedelic rock in there, even the use of, say, like Hammond organ and Hey Paranoid People. Was that sort of a conscious decision from the beginning to really step outside your comfort zone?
It wasn't really a conscious decision, but that seems to be something that we do, like maybe unconsciously, because we kind of put pressure on ourselves to do new things or try and write songs in different ways. But I don't know, there's never been any kind of conversation or anything to say, let's make a record like that, or there's been ideas, but when it comes down to it, everyone writes their own music and writes with different combinations of people, so we end up having like 30 or 40 songs or 30 or 40 ideas, and then it's like, well, when we go into the studio, we only have 2 weeks, so which ones are we going to do? And that's when we start fighting about what we're going to do. But with different instruments, it's like we have had Hammond organ and stuff on all of our other records, but it's nice to actually make a feature of it.
Quite prominent.
Yeah, and plus with Ben, our new drummer, he adds a completely different feel, so we can do some of the longer songs on there, and some of the we just recorded us just jamming in the studio, so we'd never really done that before, so that was good. But there necessarily wasn't any kind of conscious decision or conversation to go, let's do it like this, or because we kind of are out of our comfort zone as it is. We're literally living in way out in the Watson country in Germany and practicing in this old barn out in some corn and wheat fields, and we were out of our comfort zone, so it wasn't really a conscious decision. So
I guess the material from the album naturally evolved, you could say.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Phil, thanks for chatting to us today on NZOWN, and we're going to check out the first single from the album, Headstunts. This is, it's actually the second single, first video from the album, Headstunts. This is...
Human Error?
Yeah, that's it. Bash, bash, smashy, smash, smash.
Yeah. Greg Page, he just wants to smash things up.